Hi, everybody. So I was very actually reluctant to share this fan fiction chapter, but I decided to share it anyway because honestly, it has worked up to be one of my best pieces of writing. And as much as the content of it might not be appropriate for everybody and also might maybe be offensive to the Friends actors, possibly, that's not the intention of it. So as you know, I have been working on a fan fiction since Matthew Perry died in order to honor his passing. The fan fiction has been completed as of November 9th. He died on October 28th, so it took me about 3 weeks to finish the initial fan fiction. This mature version of the epilogue, it took me from October to now to finish. It is now April. So I needed to provide readers and listeners with the reason why I decided to write two different versions of this fanfiction epilogue. Of course, both of them honor Matthew Perry. The original version of the epilogue is more focused on how Matthew Perry passed away and what the cause of his death was. I actually mentioned that in the chapter because Monica gets a call from the toxicologist about the cause of Chandler's death. In the mature version, though, so the side story of my fan fiction, most of this fan fiction that I wrote is basically my self-insert character reacting to different episodes of Friends from season 2 to season 10. At this time, I was in between the ages of 11 and 18. The mature version of the epilogue, though, has nothing to do with any of the episodes of Friends. It is set in the present day. It is more personal because it was inspired by A, my crush on Matthew Perry that I have had since I was a teenager, B, the fact that last year when I was trying to interview Matthew Perry about his book, my interview got consistently interrupted by people who hacked into his account pretending to be him, and C, the fact that I have had ex-boyfriends who have been controlling and bought me over-sexualized clothing in the past. In this version of the epilogue, that is what Chandler does. Basically, in this story, Chandler develops a crush on my self-insert character, realize that there is a 15-year age gap between my self-insert character, who is 14 at the time he develops the crush, to in the epilogue when the age gap is mid-30s, mid-50s. So Chandler buys my self-insert character an over-sexualized sleep top, and she has an anxiety attack when she gets the present, and explains to Chandler during the anxiety attack that her ex-boyfriend did something similar to her when she was in college. So that is how I linked my personal life into this story. Everything else about this fanfiction chapter is completely fictionalized, and Matthew Perry probably would not appreciate this raunchy version of Chandler's character, but it's all in good fun. So this fanfiction chapter is based off of the alternative universe episodes, the one that could have been part 1 and 2, because obviously nothing like this ever happened in the series. But the section that I'm about to read was actually inspired by the one with the morning after, when Ross and Rachel have their breakup because of Ross cheating on Rachel with Chloe. So that is the portion that I am going to share with you guys today. Devastation. So I wanted to read a portion that my self-insert character realizes what is the root of Chandler's behavior, and then I'll get into the aftermath of their argument. He pulled me tightly against his chest. Everyone needs to know that you're Daddy's little princess, and I can't change anything about that. No one can take you away from me either. I never want to lose you. My mind reeled. I was flipping through my memory bank of all of the conversations that we had during the times I had come to visit the Central Perk apartments while I was younger. Finally, I zeroed in on a conversation that we had had when Mr. Heckles died. You have to try harder, Uncle Chandler. I don't ever want to lose you. Oh, honey, you won't ever lose me. I'll always be right here for you. Holy crap, Uncle Chandler. His lips kissed my forehead gently. The memory finally came to you, didn't it? I nodded. I think I am going to be sick, Uncle Chandler. Please don't be scared, honey. I ran to the bathroom and threw up. 5 minutes later, I felt his hand moving in gentle circles up and down my back. I know that Auntie Monica does this to calm you down, honey. Do you feel better? I nodded and stared at him. Uncle Chandler, is that why you have been treating me like this? He nodded. It's my turn to take care of you, honey. Please don't go back to live with Auntie Monica and Richard. They have had you for long enough. We'll be together for the rest of our lives. I thought to the conversation I had with Auntie Monica, Kathy, and Rachel about grooming and how he could manipulate me to take advantage of me sexually. I vomited again. Everything will be okay, honey, I promise. I stared at him. I am just starting to realize that Auntie Monica, Rachel, and Kathy were right about you, Uncle Chandler. His eyes clouded over. What did they ever say? I cleared my throat. Back then, after you had your drunken meltdown after your breakup, they told me that you could use any way you could to manipulate me to take advantage of me sexually, and you believe them? Yes, I did, Uncle Chandler. I wish that you've been emotionally manipulating me ever since you kissed me in apartment 19 before your engagement to Auntie Monica. That's when I knew I was in love with you, baby, and I wanted you to be my best girl forever. You were in love with the idea of us being together, Uncle Chandler. You have been fantasizing about me since I was 14 years old. It is so gross. But we are in love with each other now, and that's all that matters. I sighed. I really regret admitting that I had feelings for you, Uncle Chandler. I looked at him sadly. Don't you love me? I looked at him sadly. I'm not really sure, Uncle Chandler. And then let's get to the part that's the morning after. So the morning after they have like a heated sexual encounter, my self-insert character wakes up before Chandler does and texts Monica about what happened. So this is what happens. I woke up before Uncle Chandler and saw a voicemail from Auntie Monica. Mama is worried about you, baby. Please call me as soon as you get this message. I love you so much. I texted her immediately. Good morning, Auntie Monica. I didn't sleep at all last night. Neither did I, baby. Did Chandler try the breastfeeding role play on you? Yes, he did. I can see why you rejected him, Auntie Monica. Why didn't you call me if you felt unsafe? I already told you. He wouldn't let me leave. Did Rachel show you that picture of me? Please don't tell me that he posted that on social media. I told him not to, but he probably posted it anyway. How else has he been objectifying you, honey? Tears were in my eyes. He bought a baby carriage with us and forced me to get into it when we walked around hotel gardens before we checked in. He was parading me around as if to say, this is my baby girl. Auntie Monica replied with an emoji that was rolling its eyes with the words, he is so delusional next to it. Rachel told me about what he said to you, about the conversation you had when Mr. Heckles died. He is using that as a manipulation tactic. I hope you didn't believe him. I know that, Auntie Monica. Oh my God. We are calling the Canadian police. Okay. Is Uncle Chandler going to go to jail? We'll see what happens. Do you think we should go to counseling? Do you think he should go to counseling us one more time on Monday afternoon? Dr. Weinberg has an opening at 3 p.m. I dabbed at my eyes. Yes. Okay. Please let Uncle Chandler know. Okay. We will redirect our focus for the family therapy from working with Uncle Chandler to working on self-esteem building with you and Erica and Emma. You are going to need it. I smiled through my tears. Thank you, Auntie Monica. What time are you picking me up? 12:20. Okay, I love you, Mama. I love you too, baby. Uncle Chandler walked up behind me. Please don't tell me that you are talking to Auntie Monica. I nodded. She told me that on Monday we have therapy with Dr. Weinberg at 3 p.m. Does that work for you? Absolutely. Shut your phone off, please. I nodded and put my phone in my purse. There was 10 minutes of silence, and then he noticed my tear-stained cheeks. Chandler put his arm around me gently. Baby angel, I have been worried about you all night. I took the liberty of making you that breakfast martini and bought you some eggs and bacon from the breakfast buffet. I barely slept at all. I know, honey. That's why I am so worried about you. Let's talk about it. I exhaled. Are you actually going to listen to me, Chandler? Yes, I will. I sighed. You might have gotten pleasure from sucking on my breast, but I sure didn't. That was the most uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable and miserable the whole time. Can I ask why you came up with that role play, Chandler? Chandler exhaled. My mom and I never had a good relationship when I was younger, honey, so in a role play I had to replace her. I felt safe and I never felt safe with her. I exhaled. In the past 48 hours, you have certainly acted more like my teenage brother instead of my 52-year-old uncle, Uncle Chandler. I would have stopped if you had told me to. I turned away from him. No, you absolutely would not have. Your agenda for the past couple of days has not considered my feelings once. It has been all about you. You are a sick, perverted bastard, Uncle Chandler. I do not blame Auntie Monica and Richard for getting full custody of Erica and Jack at all. You don't deserve them. You don't deserve me either. Tears gathered in Uncle Chandler's eyes. That's not true. I swallowed and turned to face him. Yes, it is. If you even have a glimpse that you deserved me, you would have really reconsidered asking me if you could suck my breast or buying me that sexy lingerie top. You bit down too hard on my breast during the roleplay, which is why it was so painful. You have treated me shitty for the past couple of days. This is not even a marriage. He pulled me close to him. I'm sorry for hurting you so badly, baby angel. I exhaled. I really don't think that we should have a child together, Chandler. You are so immature that I can't stand it. What are you going to do if you end up being pregnant? I sighed heavily. I am not sure yet. I think that one thing we need to talk about on Monday when we meet with Dr. Weinberg. Did Auntie Monica say this is the last time that I am meeting with her? I shook my head. She didn't mention that she was going to end your sessions, but I wouldn't be surprised if she wants to end them. Do you think if we did marriage counseling it would help? Uncle Chandler sighed heavily. Honey, I caused you so much pain and trauma over the years. Do you think we can try to work through all of that, especially after what happened between us the past couple of days? I looked at him straight in the eye. I really don't know what to think about this, Uncle Chandler. Auntie Monica and Richard think that you are out of chances. I am leaning towards agreeing with them. There were 5 minutes of silence. My eyes met his. My biggest wish, Chandler, is that you would admit that you are a sexual predator. That would be such a relief to me. I told Auntie Monica about the roleplay. They are calling the police. Will they be coming here to question me? Yes. I think being honest with them is very important. Okay. Well, do you think that trying the couples therapy with Dr. Weinberg will help? I hope that it will. Okay. Chandler nodded. Will we have time to go to the urgent care to see if your rib might be broken? I paused. Auntie Monica and Richard are picking me up at 12:20. I am not sure if we will have too much time. Sometimes the waits can be long. You will have to text Auntie Monica to explain the situation, and maybe we can go tomorrow morning. Are you going to change your behavior? Can't you trust me? I am losing faith in relationship and his trust, Uncle Chandler. The minivan pulled up in front of the hotel. Uncle Chandler walked me down to the car. Hey, listen, Monica, I'm really sorry about everything. Go fuck yourself, Chandler. If you were really sorry, you would have not done this in the first place and taken her home after you went to Starbucks like you should have. If she is pregnant, are you still going to allow me to have custody rights to the child? Auntie Monica stared at Uncle Chandler long and hard. Your behavior is not going to change her. Honestly, I highly doubt it. Janine will decide about the custody arrangements, but if Richard and I had any say, she would get full custody and the two of us will assist with childcare. Don't you think I deserve another chance? Auntie Monica sighed. This was your last chance, Chandler, and you fucking blew it. Do you think Dr. Weinberg will be able to help us? Richard interjected. No, Chandler. We are not wasting our insurance money on a therapy session that you clearly are not learning anything from. If you and Janine want to do couples therapy, you will have to pay for it yourself. Okay. Uncle Chandler nodded. Okay, Richard. He looked at me. What do you think, honey? I'd rather she my therapist and being Uncle Chandler instead of doing the couples therapy. I don't feel comfortable being alone with you after what you just put me through. I'm really sorry. You have fucked up big time, Chandler. I don't think any of us will forgive you. Janine's parents should have given full custody of her to Richard and I after we got divorced. I love you, honey. Uncle Chandler kissed my forehead softly. I have a hard time believing that, Uncle Chandler. I will see you on Monday. Get in the damn car, Janine. Let's go home, Richard demanded. Okay, so I just figured I would give some context. In the earlier chapters of my fan fiction, once it is realized that Chandler has romantic feelings for myself insert character, there gets to be a whole debate about how the child custody should work, because at the time this stuff happens, my self-insert character is only 14 because this happens before Monica and Chandler get married. Because Chandler realizes he has romantic feelings for my self-insert character before they get engaged, and then tries to have sex with her on the wedding night after Monica and Chandler have their first dance. So my mother actually also appears in this fan fiction as a self-insert character and appears in a few chapters, actually. She appears in one chapter where she's driving my self-insert character to the train station. In the chapter where Chandler gets her tickets to see Kathy's play. And then in the chapter that's about when Chandler... So in the episode that's about when... Chandler and Monica are going to Westchester to look at their house in the suburbs. Basically, Chandler tells my mother, who is the self-insert character of the mother of my self-insert character, that, about what happened at the wedding, because my self-insert character was really afraid to tell her. So my mother makes an appearance as central perk after Monica and Chandler and my self-insert character get back from seeing the house in Westchester. And basically, this is where it is fully realized that Chandler is a sexual predator. Like, this is alluded to in a previous chapter, which is actually it's not really a previous chapter. It's the bonus chapter that I wrote a couple of days ago that is set after the one with Rachel's crush, where Kathy and Rachel and Monica explain to my self-insert character what grooming is and how Chandler's creepy behavior is considered grooming. So when the self-insert character, my mom, appears, she's sipping coffee at Central Perk, and she basically tells Chandler that she's mad at him because of the way she's been treating my self-insert character, and she's not going to allow my self-insert character to sleep over at Monica and Chandler's apartment. She'll stay with Ross and Rachel instead when she comes to visit. And Richard and so things go along smoothly. Well, not so smoothly actually, because Monica ends up deciding to divorce Chandler, and she gets married to Richard, and Richard becomes the stepfather, essentially, of Jack and Erica and my self-insert character. So Jack and Erica make an appearance in this story, obviously, because it takes place after the end of Friends. And so I didn't... At the end of Friends, Jack and Erica were infants, so obviously they didn't get name credit in the episode, so I had trouble giving these characters name credit because they were babies and the names were not mentioned in the credits of the finale episode. So I basically name all of the other characters by name and the actor who played them, except for Jack and Erica. So basically what happens in the beginning of this epilogue is that Chandler tells my self-insert character when they are at a coffee date at Starbucks after an AA meeting that he has no child custody of Jack and Erica anymore, because he sexually assaulted Erica and Emma. So basically he has no contact with Jack and Erica or Emma because of the sexual assault. And my self-insert character is initially very uncertain if she even wants to be in a relationship with Chandler because of what happened to Erica and Emma. And what happened before the breast-sucking role play in that last series of dialogue that I just shared is basically before they leave to go to Canada for their honeymoon, which is like not a honeymoon really, because they're technically, well, they do get a marriage license, but that ends up getting revoked. But basically what happens is that Chandler buys an outfit for my self-insert character that basically a 3-year-old would wear. He refers to my self-insert character as his baby angel. And this outfit that he dresses her up in for the car ride to Canada is basically like a pair of sweatpants and then a t-shirt that has unicorns on it. And a stranger apprehends them in the parking lot and talks to my self-insert character and says, please don't go with him. Other people have complained about how he's abusing you, but she obviously goes with him anyway, but she ends up giving the stranger Monica's phone number, and Monica calls her when she arrives at the hotel in Canada, and basically she gets really mad at her for going to Canada because she should have not gone. She should have just gone home to them, but my character explains to Monica that she tried to leave, but Chandler would not let her leave. And it is explained in the section of dialogue I just read that the reason why Chandler does not want to let her leave is because he basically wants her all to herself because of how the child custody has impacted their relationship in the past. But to be honest, the child custody would not even matter anymore anyway. So I guess I made a big deal about this for no reason, because the child custody limitations were put in place when my character was 14. By this point, my character is in her mid-30s, so really the child custody would no longer make a difference, but for some reason Chandler still thinks that it does make a difference. And there was one more section of dialogue that I wanted to share really fast, and then I will sign off. So this section of dialogue takes place after dinner, when myself and her character is having a conversation with Erica and Monica about Chandler's behavior. I should mention that this is also the longest piece of writing I've ever written. It's over 40 pages long, so if I ever choose to self-publish this fan fiction, this chapter is the longest chapter in the whole fan fiction. Oh, wait, I skipped it. Okay. So I make reference in this section of dialogue to how Monica's parents were really mean to her throughout the whole series of Friends, especially her mom. And I really felt bad for Monica throughout the whole series, that she was basically bullied by her mother. And one thing that made me upset about the finale was that was never really talked about again beyond like season 3 or season 4, as to why Judy was so mean to Monica. If I could pick a favorite parent out of the Geller parents, it would be Jack, because, I mean, sure, while he wasn't very nice to Monica either, he did have a couple of moments where we saw that he actually did like Monica a little bit better than Judy did. One example of that was in the episode, the one where Nana dies twice, where he's having a conversation with Monica about how he wants to be buried at sea and have a funeral where a 21 gun salute is going off. And then the other one is the one in the Princess Leia fantasy, where he comes over to the apartment to check on her after her breakup with Richard, and they have a really sweet moment together. So, sure, while Jack Geller took part in the bullying with his wife, I think that deep down inside he really did care about Monica throughout the whole entire show. Okay. Honey, what happened to us? We used to be so close. Erica looked at me with tear-filled eyes. Chandler's behavior did. What do you mean, Erica? Chandler made Emma and me feel so bad about ourselves when he took us shopping for that stupid lingerie top. I took her hand. I never stopped loving the both of you or Jack throughout all of this bullshit with Chandler. You were always his number one girl, the pretty one. We really resented you. I pulled my goddaughter close to me, not wanting to let her go. You two will always be beautiful to me. Do you mean that? Absolutely. I am right here for you, Erica. I'm sorry for being so mean to you at dinner. I didn't mean anything that I said. My hand moved up and down her back in gentle circles, the way Auntie Monica always comforted me. I know, sweetheart. Everything will be okay. Do Mom and Richard know that you are suicidal? Erica shook her head. They don't care about me either. Erica Phoebe Bing, you are so very loved. Auntie Monica stood in the doorway. Have you two resolved your differences? I glanced at my second mother. Erica is suicidal, Auntie Monica, just like Emma is. Auntie Monica knelt down and took her daughter's hand gently. Tell Mommy what's wrong, honey, she whispered. Chandler made me feel shitty, Mom, and like I am not good enough. Have you felt this way ever since he took you shopping for the lingerie top? Erica nodded. Janine was always his number one girl, the pretty one. I'm pretty sure you and Richard feel the same way about her. Auntie Monica's jaw dropped. Erica Phoebe Bing, you should know that is absolutely not true. Erica shook her head. Stop denying it, Mom. She has always been your favorite. Auntie Monica exhaled softly. Oh my goodness. I never in a million years thought that this would ever happen, but here we are. I looked at her confused. Thought what would never happen, Auntie Monica? Let me sit down next to you, honey. It's time that I told you about something that... it's time that I told you both something that happened to me. I pushed over and Auntie Monica sat down next to us and pulled us close to her. I hate Chandler so much for making you feel this way, Erica. I will never forgive him. Grandma Judy always made me feel less than compared to Uncle Ross. My jaw dropped in shock. Uncle Ross was mean to you too? Auntie Monica sighed. Not necessarily, but he never stood up to Grandma for bullying me either. Were you ever suicidal like me and Emma, our mom? Erica asked. Auntie Monica shook her head. No. I stress ate instead, and I was overweight for a long time. I was almost 300 pounds at one point. My jaw dropped in shock. You're sure pretty, Auntie Monica. I can't even believe you were ever that overweight. I made it my goal to lose all the weight, and I certainly did. Did Grandpa bully you like Grandma did? I asked. A smile crossed Auntie Monica's lips. Grandpa Jack has always called me his little harmonica. I am pretty sure that Grandma has manipulated him a lot in the past to think a certain way about me, but deep down inside, he has always loved me. Does he love us too? Erica asked. Auntie Monica squeezed our hands. I want both of you to know that Grandma Judy, Grandpa Jack, Grandpa Charles, and Grandma Nora have always been in your corner. They think that Chandler's behavior towards you has been abhorrent and disgusting. Mommy. Auntie Monica looked at her daughter. What is it, baby? How can I start to feel better about how Chandler made me feel so bad about myself? Auntie Monica kissed Erica's forehead softly. You can start by realizing how much love surrounds you. Two people right here love you very much and have always loved you throughout all of this bullshit with Chandler. I love you too, Mommy and Janine. Does Richard love me too? Auntie Monica nodded. Richard loves you both fiercely. He will do anything to protect the two of you and Jack and Emma. I love you, Auntie Monica, I whispered. You and your cousins are my rays of light, sweetheart. I love you too. She kissed my forehead softly. All right, so that's it. That is all of the pieces of this epilogue that I am going to share. You can read the whole fan fiction at fanfiction.net or archiveourown.com. I will post the link in the description. I would really appreciate comments on this epilogue specifically because I worked really hard on it and I was really afraid to share it because of A, the issues I've had in the past with hackers, and B, because I've been afraid of other people's reactions to how raunchy this can get, because I have never written something before this that has been what they refer to as open door romance. Most of the stuff that I've written that's romantic in my past fan fictions has been very closed door and nothing sexual has ever been mentioned. So this is my first mature fan fiction. It took me a long time to write it and I was very nervous to share it at all over the internet. Not just by sharing it on Instagram, but also posting it online. And I've debated keeping it up, actually. So please let me know if you like it, because I can certainly remove it from the internet if people find it offensive. So have a great night. Thank you.